Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Blader&Co. On today's episode, I'm taking a look at the latest release from Beyblade X. So this is BX-26 Unicorn Sting 560 GP. So super keen for this release, really excited by the promo images of this blade. I think it looks great. So yeah, really excited to open this one up. So without further ado, let's just go right ahead, take a look at the box, and then we'll crack this one open. So starting with the box, you've got your standard booster release box, so exactly like what we've seen before with boosters. So being a booster, obviously no launcher. So taking a look at the back of the box, you've got your parts listed there, the owner of the blade. All right, well, now that we've taken a quick look over the box, let's just go ahead and open this one up, and then we'll go through it part by part. So we've got our skill up guide. So if you see, we've got the silhouette there of the late February release. So that is Sphinx Cowl. So while we open this one up, let's have a little chat about the blade and the owner. So this is another Team Yggdrasil bay. So this is owned by Uni. So she is another member of Team Yggdrasil. So obviously we've had Burn with phoenixwing. So this is the second blade so far that we've got for Team Yggdrasil. So yeah, really cool. She's only had a really small part in the series so far. All right, so up first, we'll start with the bit. So for the bit, we have GP, so that's gear point. Quite similar to both Point from Leon Claw in terms of design, and then also from phoenixwing, also in terms of design. So much like phoenixwing, the bit, the teeth run all the way down to the very bottom of the shaft. So if you have a look there, you can see just that little bit of the point that sticks out from the bottom. So yeah, those teeth are quite long on this. So for our ratchet, we've got 560. So we've seen this ratchet a few times now. In this case, so it's a pretty cool, I don't know, turquoisey green sort of color. I really like how this looks, especially with that bit. Looks really nice together. And then finally, we've got our brand new Unicorn Sting blade. So this is a really great looking blade in my opinion. I really like the almost two-sided design. So it's quite similar to something from like the Metal Fight era with like the Killer Gemios wheel. So you sort of got, you know, the two sides. However, in this case, the two sides are different to each other. So you've got one side which sort of resembles the, I guess the horn of the unicorn, where you've got a bit more ridges and probably a little bit more recoil, whereas the other side's quite a bit smoother. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this one together. So assembling our Unicorn Sting. And there we have it, fully assembled. So this is a great looking blade. I think the colors on this one particularly really do work for me. I really like the color. As I said, it looks a lot like the colors from Blitz Unicorno. So yeah, that looks great. All right, now with it fully assembled, let's move on and do a couple of spin tests. So what's interesting about this one is it's really dependent on how you launch will determine sort of the movement of the blade. So as you can see, I've launched it flat and I've got it sort of just sitting in the middle of the stadium, quite stable movements. So another option for Unicorn Sting is if you were to launch it sort of quite a bit harder, potentially even on an angle, you'll be able to get it to sort of circle around the stadium and hit that extreme line. I will note, apparently there are potentially two molds for the bit. So mine initially on the first few launches, I wasn't really able to get any aggressive fast movements. I was really able only to get it to be quite stable. So I ended up switching to the standard ripcord launcher rather than the string launcher. I just feel like they got a bit more power. And once I did that, after a few launches, maybe the tip had worn in slightly, I was finally able to get it to sort of, you know, attack around the stadium a lot more. So just something to note. Who knows if that is a mold thing or if it's purely just, you know, if it's not making contact with another blade, perhaps it'll be a lot more stable. But yeah, just something to note. All right, well, let's do a couple of size comparisons. So up first, we've got it next to Drandagger. So what you'll really note here is the difference between the bits. So if you look at the bit on Drandagger, just how much skinnier and slim it is, and also how much shorter the teeth are and how few teeth there are. Whereas something like Gear Point, quite a bit wider, teeth go all the way down to the very point. Then comparing it to a fellow teammate, we've got phoenixwing. So you can see some real similarities here in terms of the bit design. So it's definitely on purpose by Takara Tomy. how they've designed both of these bits to be quite similar. So really having a look at the two, teeth go all the way down to the bottom of the bit, and really it's just the point that makes a big difference between these two bits. Also comparing it to Leon Claw, so you can also again see the similarities and differences between the regular point bit. So yeah, much like point, you know, it's predominantly I guess a flat base with then that point sticking out, whereas on Leon Claw with the regular point, you don't have those extra extended teeth. Alright, so that is Unicorn Sting. So my final thoughts on this one, I think it's a really great blade. From my very few, albeit limited uses so far, it's a ton of fun to use. I think the bit, much similar to something like Coat Sharp, so referencing another Unicorn Bay from past. Similar to that, performance is quite defensive and attacking, depending on contact and launch technique. So a few little test battles, you know, you can get some pretty crazy movement out of this one. You know, if another blade happens to hit it and slightly knock it off edge, it can really, you know, zip around the stadium and hit that extreme line. Alright guys, well, I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. So if you aren't already, maybe hit that subscribe button, consider liking, maybe even leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the video, any thoughts you have on Unicorn Sting. Yeah, look, I'll see you guys in the next video. I post pretty regularly, so yeah, stay tuned, check out some upcoming vids, check out some past vids. Yeah, until next time, take care guys, see you guys in the next one.